So here I am with a man who needs no introduction, but go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hey everybody, my name is Jonathan Benedict Wheeler.
Well, it's good to have you here. How are you liking the show so far?
I'm liking it very much, thank you. Yeah.
Well, you guys have had a pretty good spot now that they've moved the fans over here.
Moved the fan over so that I could let my hair kind of circulate a little bit. And
It has
been a nice. Everyone's been kind of hanging out, getting cool, and looking at the stuff. So
awesome.
I can't complain. Yeah.
Well, why don't you go ahead and just walk us through some of the new stuff that you have?
Sure. Where shall we start?
Start with the shoes.
The shoes. So these shoes are a collaboration with my friend Mamiya in Japan at Stomp Locks. He designed these shoes a number of years ago before COVID, and him and I, they only made them for smaller sizes, but him and I have worked together to bring it to the European and American sizes.
Very nice. So they have both leather and is it a suede?
Yeah, a leather and a suede. And so I've been importing all of them the first time around, and we've since sold out of everything but the smallest size, which is an 8.
Okay.
So we've now ordered more, and in November I'll have this model without the cord and without the SPD bottom, so just a flat sole, and it'll be nice and flat in a Vibram sole, so it'll be real grippy on a flat pedal. But I'll also have the clipless edition. We'll have them in this top grain brown leather with the brown sole, and a top grain black leather with a brown sole.
Well, I gotta say they're very handsome. They're very handsome shoes. And you had told me about some other tires that were coming out.
Yeah.
Are we at liberty to discuss them?
Yeah, absolutely. We'll have a 700 by 39, which we should have we're about to get our samples, so about two months from now we should have a production of those. And we also have a 700 by 47. So that one is a little bit further off, but we're able to work a little bit quicker with Paneracer now that everything's kind of cooled down after the big rush where we had to wait 2 years for production.
Well, let me ask you, something I've been asking everybody here, what is the most memorable ride or place you've been to ride bikes?
I would have to, I really had a nice time with the Southern Alps and the South Island of New Zealand, probably about 8 years ago at this point. And it was, we didn't do much riding. It was mainly just carrying our bikes up a hiking trail.
That kind of seems like a theme.
Yeah, that was a theme.
It's basically, instead of taking your dog for a walk,
Yeah.
you're taking your bike.
Take your bike for a walk. It'll, you get to ride it a little bit. That's okay. It'll come in handy at some point.
Yes.
But it's a full body workout. People don't realize that. People say cyclists are weak. We have weak bones because we're not doing any impact training. Well, carrying your bike, that's where it goes. Take your bike for a hike, everybody.
There you go. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for showing us around, and have a good rest of the show.
Absolutely. Thanks, Igor.
All right. First public day is done. Exhausted. It's been a long day.
Yeah.
It's hot. There's no air conditioning, but we do have fans, which is very helpful.
I'm a fan.
How you feeling, Derek? How's first day?
Great. It was a great day. It was hot though, but and I don't know if by the end of this I'll feel my feet, but price to pay.
Yeah. Hey, that's the
Small
price to pay.
sacrifices.
That's right. Yeah. Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
Have a good night.
You too, guys. Great stuff.
Grab some grub, and then we're going to go back, chill. At least that's what I'm doing.
Relax.
So,
I found solace in sitting by the water and staring at the bridges. I did that last night for a little while. It was nice.
And so I was talking to Adam, and he was saying that today they had 600 people,
Okay.
and tomorrow or this weekend they're expecting 3,000.
That's a jump. That is, yeah.
Well, I gotta say that for a first year sort of thing, I think they're doing a very good job.
Yeah.
There's a couple pinch points, but I think they'll kind of get it sorted out.
Future's bright.
Future is bright. I'm excited. It's really good. It is exhausting, obviously, doing a trade show for 4 days, but I think it's very rewarding to see friends and meet new ones and see potential customers. So it is beautiful. So okay, awesome. We'll see. Have a good night. Bye. All right, here I am with Henrietta of Watts Frameworks.
Hi.
Now you have one very cool bike
Yeah, that's right.
that immediately when I saw it, I had to go look at it.
Yeah.
So do you want to tell us a little bit about it and
Sure.
what were some of the design cues that you were telling me about earlier?
Yeah, I needed a new rando bike, and I was coming from something really heavy, really slow. So I wanted to build the fastest steel, classically inspired rando bike that I could come up with. So I borrowed some aero cues from track and time trial bikes, but wanted to do them in my kind of style. So I went with really thin, round tubing, but then spaced the seat stays and the fork blades really far out so that they're in line with the rider's legs. So the aero disruption from the fork blades gets kind of caught up in the aero disruption from your moving legs, which is like a big source of drag. And then the seat stays are hidden behind that. You know, like any bit of efficiency gain over the course of a brevet really, really adds up just because the events are so long. So got the truss fork in the front, which allows me to build something that's structurally sound, but really thin from the front. And it's also just kind of fun. But in building something like this with a carbon seat mask too, which is really like a modern touch, I had to include some elements that are like classically randonneuring. So I've got a standard size, like inch top tube, but really thin wall, a slightly oversized down tube, also really thin wall, and then a lot of like lug details. So the seat mask got carved lugs, the fork has lug details, and it'll be built up with kind of traditional direct mount center pole brakes and a classic 650 by 42 rando wheel set. You know, it'll get fenders and mud flaps.
So it's gonna get the all the touches.
Yeah. Integrated lighting, a front box.
So compared to a more traditional frame that has, you know, more traditional fork blades and seat stays, what were some of the design challenges that you had to figure out?
Well, sure. Putting this fork together was no easy feat. A lugged fork, in a way, kind of fits together. Mm-hmm. But then when you have to build the lug and you have two sets of fork blades, it gets a little tricky because I had to line everything up. So there was a lot of like careful placing and checking.
Yeah.
And then deciding, wait, that's not quite right. So I'd go back to the bender and bend it just a little bit more and then put it back in the fork and like double check.
Yeah.
So the fork ended up taking as long or longer than the actual frame did.
Yeah.
But in the end, I'm really pleased with how it turned out.
So you don't see a lot of carbon seat masks on essentially otherwise a steel rando frame. So what are some of the reasons that you went with the carbon seat mast?
Well, it's a bike for me, and I like carbon seat masks.
Okay, yeah. So you can kind of do whatever you want.
Yeah, right. So I didn't have to convince anyone that they wanted this bike. You know, I just got to build what was bubbling in my head.
Sure.
But ever since I've been like aware of the custom frame building scene, especially in the US, that's been a real marker of like a deep custom bike. Mm-hmm. You know, it's built for one particular person, so you don't need a lot of saddle height adjustment.
Absolutely.
It's just like if your pedals change or if your saddle changes, you need to be able to adjust for that. But otherwise, it's not moving around a lot.
Yeah.
So a carbon seat mast is kind of
set it and forget it in a lot of ways.
That's right. Yeah. And it really speaks to that. And it also references builders like Rob English or the guys at Number 22 who do work that's inspired me. So it's like modern track, traditional rando, and like American frame building design all kind of coalesced into one bike.
Sure. And obviously there are some good size spaces
Yeah.
in the fork and in the seat stays. Are you going to have bags made for it that are custom made for it?
If I decide I need more space.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm going to build myself a rando box for the front.
Uh-huh.
And that I have some special secret plans for. And if that's not enough, then I might fill in the windows in the fork.
Very cool.
But we'll see.
Well, I've been asking everybody this question. Where is your most memorable place that you've ridden?
Ooh. I think it would have to be Mount St. Helens.
Okay.
I did the Mount St. Helens Epic with a couple friends of mine, and never on any ride have I ridden through so many different terrains.
Yeah.
And all of them more beautiful than the last. So I would have to say that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, where can our internet friends find you?
Yeah, you can find me at Watts Frameworks on Instagram, wattsframeworks.com, and you can email me at wattsframeworks@gmail.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And just watch here.
Sure.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. You can look at me. You can look at the camera.
You gotta
I guess something kind of just like chill.
Yeah, chill.
Yeah. So here I am with now Tomii of Tomii Cycles. How's the show going for you so far?
Show is awesome. So much fun.
There's-
I'm a little tired, but
Oh yeah, absolutely. There are so many people that are just so passionate about
oh yeah.
this kind of stuff, and the caliber of the bikes here are so high.
So high.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about this one? This is what's the name of this one?
This model called Fat Canvas.
Okay.
So which is kind of like a gravel model. So my stock size model, and then this bike I designed to fit 650, 2.2, or 770. I don't know, 48 max.
48 max. Okay, cool. Now this little rack that's on the back of that, is that a stock option that somebody can choose?
The bag is option, but the Fat Canvas come with rack, rear rack.
Now I see all of these very cool details that I'm sure your viewers on the internet have seen, like the seat stay bridges.
Yeah, I got a lot of inspirations from like Southwest style scene. So I love like cactus and then plants and then turquoise.
Now I'm also seeing these very cool headset spacers, and we can take a look at some bells as well. Oh, I just saw the bar plugs.
Yeah, custom brass buttons.
Can you tell us a little bit about the kind of manufacturing process to make those items? Because this is not something I've ever really seen before, especially on bike stuff.
Well, Tomii Cycles owns by just me,
Uh-huh.
and then I do everything except paint. So all these little gadgets I do between frame building.
Okay.
But it's like good break from frame building.
Absolutely.
So I'm really enjoying making these.
Awesome. Well, you also have these very cool bells. And I know that you have a bunch of videos online where you actually show the hammering process, which is really cool.
It's all hand hammered.
Very intricate. They're beautiful.
It sounds all different.
Yeah, can you pull one out so we can have a listen?
So this is my big side bell. And then I also have small size bell over there.
Okay. So this is the smaller size one.
This one has a little more icon.
Amazing. You got it. In the comments, tell us which one you like better. What do you think is kind of the next stage in really popular cycling? Do you think? Because I was talking to some other people, and I feel like we're in the post gravel era.
Yeah.
Where we're almost kind of remaking mountain bikes in some ways.
Yeah, gravel bike and then fat tire bike is still so strong.
Do you think that people are kind of tending towards maybe a little bit narrower? Because maybe
Maybe.
the bigger
Yeah.
tires are a little bit overwhelming for some trails.
Yeah. But see, this year May, I saw a lot of fat tire bike and a mountain bike.
Yeah.
So I bought 2 road bikes, skinny tire.
Oh, to
So-
offset it.
Offset. And then a lot of people, they're like, whoa, like it's fresh.
Yes.
They're like, wow, this is awesome. And then
Yeah.
like, maybe skinny tire next.
I think so.
Maybe.
That's what I've been talking about.
Yeah.
I'm seeing like we have our rando model coming out, and I feel like the 32 to 38
Yeah.
sort of size is kind of adventure road. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Maybe something like that.
sure.
Well, let me ask you another question. Where is the most memorable place that you've ridden?
Oh, that's a good question. Around Austin, there's a lot of amazing spots.
Do you have like a favorite trail or anything like
Oh,
that?
my favorite is like a east side, kind of like a secret trails.
Oh, okay. Sneaky.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, where can people find more information about Tomii Cycles?
Tomii Cycles, TomiiCycles.com, or on my Instagram.
Thank you so much for doing this, and
Thank
it's
you.
good to see you.
Yes, good to see you.